Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dig into company filings so you don't have to. Today we're looking at a filing from Accession Life International, and let's just say it's a bit of a financial facelift. They're restating some old financial statements. So buckle up, it might get bumpy. Accession Life International is redoing their financial statements for the year ended December 31, 2021. They're also restating their numbers for the first 9 months of 2021 that ended in September. This means the original reports they put out for these periods weren't quite right, so they're issuing a corrected version. Think of it like reprinting a book with a bunch of typos. They found some mistakes and they are fixing it now. This report only focuses on the parts of the original filings that needed fixing. So why the do-over? It turns out there were some issues with how they accounted for a couple of acquisitions. That is when one company buys another company. Specifically, they bought Aixin Shangyan Hotel Management and Chengdu Exintang Pharmacy, along with some related businesses. The accountants, KCCW Certified Public Accountants, told Aixin Life that these deals should have been accounted for as if they happened at the beginning of 2021. They also needed to fix how they showed a capital contribution, which is when someone puts money into the company from their main shareholder, Mr. Quanxing Lin. Let's get to the numbers and see how these changes affected things. The filing provides some tables that show the before and after. Keep in mind we will focus only on the important changes and leave out the less interesting details. First up, total revenue, that is the money the company made. Previously, they reported about $3 million, that after the restatement, it went up to about $4.2 million. That's an increase of roughly $1.2 million. This is because they included the revenue from the companies they acquired for the whole year, rather than from the date they bought them. Now, let's talk about expenses, the money the company spent. Those also went up quite a bit. Originally, they reported about $3.1 million in expenses. After the restatement, expenses jumped to about $5.2 million. This is because, like the revenue, they're now including the expenses from the acquired companies for the entire year. So, what does this mean for the company's profit or loss? Well, originally they showed a small loss from operations of about $27,000, but after the restatement, that loss balloons to over $1 million. This means the company lost more money than they initially thought. The net loss, which is the overall loss after taking everything into account, also increased significantly. It went from a loss of around $267,000 to a much larger loss of about $1.2 million. Let's switch over to statements of cash flow. This shows the money coming in and out of the company through its day-to-day business. Originally, it showed a small outflow or use of cash of about $58,000, but after the restatement, that cash outflow grew significantly to about $693,000. Investing activities, which includes things like buying equipment or other companies, also saw a change. The cash used in these activities increased from about $4.4 million to $4.5 million. Financing activities like borrowing money or selling stock showed an increase in cash inflow. Originally, it showed about $5.2 million, but after the restatement, it went up to about $5.9 million. One more important change, the company is restating the value of shareholder contribution. Previously, the value was $0, and now it's being updated to about $4.4 million. So what does all this mean? Well, it's important to remember that even though the restatement changed the numbers on the income statement and cash flow statement, it didn't actually change the total amount of equity that is the value of the company. The filing specifically states the total stockholders' equity as reported in the original financial statements. Also, the company says that these changes only affect the year 2021. They don't need to restate any financial statements. Also, the company says that these changes only affect the year 2021. They don't need to restate any financial statements. Also, the company says that these changes only affect the year 2021. They don't need to restate any financial statements for periods after December 31, 2021. They don't need to restate any financial statements for periods after December 31, 2021. When they report their results for 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 2022. It's all a bit confusing, but that's why we're here to decode it. Now, my take on Aixin Life it's never a great sign when a company has to restate its financial statements. It raises questions about the accuracy of their accounting practices and whether investors can trust the numbers they're putting out. The good news here is that the company is addressing the issues and trying to be transparent. The changes related to the acquisitions are understandable, as it's common to adjust numbers when companies merge. However, the fact that these errors weren't caught earlier is a concern. Odd for all, this restatement doesn't fundamentally change the long-term outlook for Aixin Life, but it does add a layer of uncertainty. Investors should carefully consider these issues and do their own research before making any decisions about investing in the company. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. It helps me bring you more videos breaking down company filings. See you next time on Corporate Decoder.